Outdoors Delmarva covers everything outdoors,
including real hunting and fishing situations involving wildlife.
We do our best each and every week to keep it tasteful, but discretion is advised.
Now, enjoy the show.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
This week on the show, we're cutting the ribbon on a big event in Wicomico County. For starters, we're taking you along for the ride as boat docking returns to the west side. Plus, spring is in the air and eggs are in the ground. These reptile neighbors might be slow movers, but this natural phenomenon doesn't last very long. And we'll head into the garden where the masters of their craft explain why keeping it local can keep your landscape happy.
Right now on Outdoors Delmarva.
He's the man.
What to say?
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. And now, here's Mike Parker.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker. We'll be checking in with my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, in just a few minutes. And we're excited you could join us for this week's show because, well, we've got a great one lined up and a chance to show you around a really big fun event that we recently had a chance to be part of, talking about the inaugural Dock Days event happening here in Wicomico County. And they call it Dock Days for a reason. I mean, the docks are right here at the beautiful Cedar Hill Marina in Bivalve. And the days, well, take a look. You're going to be in a daze after you see all of the fun stuff that's happening. For the first time in years, the best boat docking competitors on Delmarva were back home in Wicomico County. And when it was time to check out the action at Dock Days, we took in some of the early action from the same perspective as the crowd. So what is it about boat docking? We've seen it, of course, we see it down at the Crab Festival in Crisfield. Now it's here a little bit further north up the shore. You guys have been here before, but anything new we should expect?
The boats are always getting a lot faster now. Every year that we've been doing it now, captains have done a little bit of tweaking on their rudders and everything. So the competition is getting a lot more competitive with the speed and the accuracy of hitting the docks. Some of these boats now are doing it in 18 seconds, which is incredible. Incredible from any angle, and with plenty of bragging rights on the line.
Oh yeah, this is bragging rights.
When it came time for the team competition, we made sure we had a sweet seat, right on board the Lady Laura, and right in the middle of the action.
And that is how it's done. Get outdoors, Delmarva.
And joining me right now is Andy Kitzrow with Wicomico County Recreation and Parks. Andy, how are you?
Doing great today. It is going to be a big day today.
All right, well, tell me about Dock Days. What inspired it?
Well, in Dock Days, what we've got is we've always wanted to have a festival down here on the west side of town. And C.R. Krause is the West Side Community Director. He has been jumping his dog in the Dock Dogs competition for the last 3 years. He's like, you know, it'd be great if we could bring him down here.
This traveling group of canine daredevils and their owners have earned their name, appearing at events up and down the peninsula. And at Dock Days, they certainly made an impression.
We're down in Bivalve today, and these are some of the local mounts that the West Siders have mounted. We have anywhere from red drum to largemouth bass. We have a few bucks, a few ducks, and we're able to get a lot of sick deer here today, thanks to some of the locals. We came here and built this little stand yesterday, and everyone brought their mounts down today. And just a little taste of the west side. My buddy also brought some arrowheads and some old muskets of his, just to show things that he's found around here, so it's not all dead animals.
Beautiful day, great venue, lots of people, happy people out, you know, with their kids and their dogs and their families, and we're getting to meet a lot of great folks down here in Bivalve, and it's a wonderful event.
And on a day that saw the weather turn from spring-like to an early taste of summer heat, there was no question the longest line was forming in front of the snow cone trailer. And from start to finish, in only its first year, Dock Days is looking to become the newest of Eastern Shore tradition. Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, they're slow movers, but don't blink or you'll miss a natural phenomenon. We'll check in with our local reptile experts as turtles begin laying eggs. But first, did you know? Dock Days was held at Cedar Hill Marina in Bivalve, Maryland. Where does the name Bivalve come from? The answer when we come back.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism, Shorts Marine, Shooter's Choice, and Goody's Marine. Outdoors Delmarva will be right back.
And that is how it's done. Get outdoors, Delmarva.
Did you know? The area of Bivalve, Maryland is named for the class of aquatic species known as bivalves. Among them are the oyster, clam, mussel, and scallop.
Did You Know is sponsored by North Bay Marina.
Well, I'm back here at Dock Days at Cedar Hill Marina in Bivalve, Wycomico County, and one of the big attractions is, of course, the beloved Delmarva dock dogs. Yeah, just standing this close to the pool, I'm actually kind of taking my own dryness into my own hands, I'll warn you. I think I might have just escaped a little bit of a splash. Well, meanwhile, I want to send things over to my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, who's going to talk about another animal species, reptile, in fact, that's also doing something pretty special this time of year. Willie?
Whoa! It's going to be tough to stay dry out there, Mike, if that dog has anything to say about the matter. We're going to shift gears here and go from animals that jump to ones that crawl. You might remember some time ago we introduced you to a fellow we like to call the Snake Buster. This week he's going to tell us about some other reptiles here on Delmarva and why this is such a special time of year. Forget about chickens for a moment and ask yourself, why did the turtle cross the road?
This is the time of the year that they're breeding, and this is the time of the year that when you see turtles crossing the road, they're actually looking for a sandy place to drop the eggs.
During this time of year on Delmarva, you might have come across one of these quiet reptiles on a journey to lay eggs. Our soft, sandy soil makes an ideal nest, and as the summer goes on, you can bet we'll be sharing the peninsula with many little newcomers.
Most of them that you're seeing are the snapping turtles, or the aquatic turtles, the ones that live in the water. And they'll come out of the ponds or the drainage ditches that they're living in, and they'll go and drop the eggs. And you know, some of the snapping turtles can drop anywhere from, a dozen up to almost 40 eggs.
There are some facts about turtle eggs that we found downright fascinating.
All the turtles in this area are temperature dependent as far as what the sex of the eggs are going to hatch out to be. If the temperature stays below 80 degrees, then all the eggs that are in the nest will actually be males. If it stays above 80 degrees for a certain period of time, they'll all be females. If you have a nest that was laid or made in partial sun and shade, then the warm side of the nest will be all females, and then the cool side will be all the males. And these are snapping turtle eggs. These were dropped about a week ago, and they're set in a sandy soil so that the eggs, there will be good drainage. This incubator was designed by the herpetologists that work at the Smithsonian Institute at the National Zoo. You have a container, you put 2 inches of gravel in the bottom, you put water up to the top of the gravel. We'll put this inside here. So now these eggs will stay really humid. We'll put a top on it, just a piece of plastic, and snap an old lid on that we had. And this will actually serve as an incubator so that these eggs will hatch now, and we'll try to keep the temperature between 78 and 81 or 82. Hopefully we'll have males and females. 60, 90 days, these will start to hatch, and these will be at Pemberton Historical Park Nature Camp, and the kids that go to camp will actually get an opportunity to watch turtles hatch from the egg.
And in a couple years, the new hatchlings will resemble these little guys, like this eastern painted turtle that we caught a few episodes ago.
This was the turtle that we caught in the Snake Buster episode, and this is last year's hatch. This little dot underneath of him, that's actually his belly button right there, and that's where the embryonic sac was attached when he was in the egg. These guys, when they're absorbing the sac, they can actually live from August through the next spring without even eating anything. They can stay right in the nest and be totally fine.
This rambunctious 2-year-old snapping turtle isn't going to be this little forever.
He was born, actually washed out of his nest when we had the Hurricane Irene. He's 2 years old, so if you see the size of this turtle, 2 years old, look at the size. This turtle will get to be this size.
Wow, that's something else.
So the next time you see the turtle cross the road, take a little care to make sure she gets there, and we'll all be rewarded for many generations to come.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, hear from the master gardeners why native plant species will keep your landscape happy. Plus, you won't want to miss this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
Scorchy's Corner Classics are sponsored by Hook 'em and Cook 'em Outfitters.
Then suddenly the climax to a perfect day began. The camera tells the story.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Well, back here at the Dock Days Festival at Cedar Hill Marina in Wicomico County again this week. And boy, oh boy, I'll tell you what, you probably can't see it right now, but you can definitely hear it. Outdoors Delmarva is sponsoring a wood carving demonstration going on up here on our expo stage. That's the fella back there using the chainsaw. Really cool stuff. Well, take a look around. I mean, the crowd is just building here, and it's been a really great local event. And we love local. And recently we found out that even when it comes to your landscape, it's a great idea.
Come on down.
And if you were just passing through the town of Berlin in Worcester County a few weeks back, no doubt this image is still planted in your mind. The idea, after all, was to get people just down the street to the Assateague Coastal Trust's native plant sale.
The Assateague Coastal Trust is interested in teaching people about the environment, our local environment, and what's important in terms of clean water and treating the land properly so that we don't pollute the waters. One of the things we try to do is educate people about what kind of plants to sow in this area to filter the water down to filter the land down to the water's edge.
In these plants we have a variety of colors, textures, sizes, heights. All of them serve a different purpose, and some of them are for shade, some of them are for sun. This purple one over here is a verbena. It is a ground cover.
With so many different native and heirloom plants to choose from, a few of Maryland's master gardeners were on hand to help out and plant some educational seeds.
A lot of these plants, most of these plants that bloom provide good sources of nectar and pollen for our bees and our wildlife. Some of them are deer resistant, which is nice for those of us that live in areas where deer do come in, and others are deer favorites. So be careful with what you choose. Make sure you choose something that's endeared to your environment and something that you're going to love for a long time, because as we know, natives do take root and become very well established and very comfortable in their environments and serve a fabulous purpose to our ecosystem as well as our homes.
And with some imagination in both gardening and grassroots marketing.
Go native! Assateague Coastal Trust, native plant sale. Get them while they're alive.
This local effort is sure to grow.
Go native and get outdoors, Delmarva.
And now it's time to check in with an old friend. Here's this week's Scorchy's Corner Classic.
There he is. It's a drum.
Look at him.
It's a drum.
Tangier Sound red drum fishing was fantastic from the very beginning. The fish struck Chris Thomas as soon as we put the first of 3 peeler crab baits in the 6 feet of water.
Oh, look at that. I'm going to try it again.
We had gotten off to a good start. After about a 10-minute battle on 17-pound test line, the small red in the 20-pound range was ready for the net.
Lead him around. He's tired. Bring him here.
Our policy is to release all red drum if they're not injured. We handled him gingerly.
There he goes. That's it. Tail him a little bit, Jeff. Okay. Tail him till he feels powerful. There he goes. Oh, that's a nice fish. Hot diggity, this is terrific. There he is. Right there. He's going under the boat. What do I do now? Just hold your
The estimated 50-pounder went under the boat, and that was all she wrote. Skippy's line snapped. This was utopian fishing. In spite of the ever-present major league-sized bluefish and a generous gaggle of skeets, we now knew Big Red was here, and anticipation engulfed us.
Yeah! Oh, yeah! Yes!
All told, we hung into and released one way or the other 6 red drum in the 20 to 50-pound range. Scorchito is wandering our Delmarva land for WBOC News.
Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, dog tested, dog approved. We'll be spending some time with our friends from Gateway Subaru. Good girl, good girl.
You're watching Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
You know what, man? If you live this close to the beach and you don't have some sand on your mats, there's something wrong with you.
This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards.
Thanks for watching Outdoors Delmarva. I'm Mike Parker, and we're back here at Dock Days this week, and we're spending some time with our friends from Gateway Subaru. And joining me right now is Drew Hazencope with Gateway Subaru. Drew, good to see you.
Good to see you, Mike.
I've got to believe it makes an awful lot of sense for Gateway Subaru to be involved in an event like this.
Absolutely. Gateway and Subaru as a company love the great outdoors, and we especially love dogs.
Well, I see you've got the 2012 Forester, you've got an Outback over here. I say we put them to the test. Well, after this, if you don't believe that Subarus are both pet-friendly and roomy, well, we found the ultimate test subject. Hey, Ben, get on up here, buddy.
There, sit.
That's a doggone lot of space.
Mike, you know what dogs love even more than dock days?
What's that?
Beach days.
Well, you know what? Nothing's better on the sand than an Outback.
Everybody that knows Subaru thinks of snow. And that same technology that makes it perfect in the snow makes it perfect on the beach and the sand.
And you know, it doesn't have to be the big beach either. Even this little spot right here along the Nanticoke River is perfect. Pull right up in the sand, symmetrical all-wheel drive, with nothing to worry about. Pop the sunroof, turn on the radio, and in a Subaru, you'll be doing it all in style. Well, you know, a little beach like this on the bay side is fun, but unfortunately the tide comes up pretty quick and it's just about time for us to get out of here. Luckily, we know our Outback handles just as well in the deep sand on the seashore.
That's right, Mike. It's all about the symmetrical all-wheel drive. It's a 50-50 split, so you're getting 50% of the power in the front, 50 in the back. So just like taking it on the snow, the only difference here is you gotta let the air out of the tires a little bit.
Well, any way you look at it, I think we put our Outback to the ultimate test today, from over at Dock Days to out on the beach. Drew, it's that time of year. If you want to have some fun in the sun, why not start out with a Gateway Subaru?
Yeah, Mike, that's correct. And if you guys were happy with what you saw, wait till you drive one. Come down to Gateway Subaru and enjoy a luxurious experience buying a car without the heavy price tag.
All right, take one for a test drive today. Drew Hazencope with Gateway. Always love learning about your amazing products. If you're looking for a car that's going to get you out on the road with safety in mind, great fuel efficiency, and of course, symmetrical all-wheel drive for any condition, look no further than Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. And we'll be right back. Coming up next on Outdoors Delmarva, your latest viewer videos and pictures.
Outdoors Delmarva viewer pictures are sponsored by Shorts Marine. This is Outdoors Delmarva, presented by Gateway Subaru. Higher standards. Sponsored by Ocean City Tourism. Shorts Marine. Shooter's Choice. And Goodies Marine.
All right, we're back here at Cedar Hill Marina in Wicomico County for the first annual Dock Days event, and plenty of action happening here today. But right now, let's take a look at some of the videos and pictures sent in by our own Outdoors Delmarva viewers. Dave Wilson from the Maryland Coastal Bays program sent in these shots with a description. He says, the recent Great Worcester Herp search last weekend yielded more than 100 reptiles and amphibians from 18 species, including this rare coastal plain milk snake. More than 60 volunteers helped find, record, and release all of the critters. Captain Bob Trowbridge aboard the Captain's Lady out of Bowers Beach sent in these shots of a big black drum caught recently. Angler Justin Rustacelli reeled in this beast on Delaware Bay. Also pictured on either side of Justin are first mate Bruce Turner and Captain Bob himself. Great catch. Andrew Truitt from Girdle Tree, Maryland, posted this picture on the Outdoors Delmarva Facebook page. Check out this 37-inch striper caught on the surf on Assateague recently. Andrew was pictured with his pop-up, Tom Herman. Don Avendolio from the Saltwater Fly Anglers of Delaware sent in some pictures of recent catches by club members. Malcolm McNaught from Lewis pulled in this nice weak fish or trout. And Roy Miller landed a nice-looking striper, also using a fly. Always a great challenge, and thanks for sharing some great pictures. Well, we love sharing your outdoors videos and pictures here on the show, so please keep them coming. Just email me at mparker@wboc.com. And make sure to like us on Facebook and post your videos and pictures right to the Outdoors Delmarva Facebook page. All right, well, we've had such a great time here at the inaugural Dock Days festivities in Bivalve, Wicomico County. We think that the County Department of Recreation and Parks has done a great job, and of course here at Outdoors Delmarva and WBOC, we've been a proud sponsor. We hope it's something that we'll see you out here for many, many years to come. Until next time, for my partner, Captain Willie Dykes, I'm Mike Parker, reminding you to get outdoors, Delmarva.
If you've got an upcoming adventure here on Delmarva or beyond, we want to see it. Whether it's a fishing or hunting trip, or going camping or hiking with a community group or friends, let us know, and we can put the Viewer Venture Camp in your hands. Got an idea? Email Mike at mparker@wboc.com. It's the Outdoors Delmarva Viewer Venture Camp. You shoot it, we'll show it.